Have you ever heard the saying, "What goes around comes around"? Well, let me tell you a story, one that will make you believe in the power of choices and their consequences. It all began in the quaint village of Willowbrook, nestled in a valley surrounded by whispering pines. Everyone in Willowbrook knew each other, a tight-knit community where trust was the currency of life. And at the heart of this village was a man named Victor. Victor was a wealthy merchant, but he wasn't known for his kindness. He was shrewd, calculating, and some said, downright ruthless. To him, the world was a chessboard, and everyone else mere pawns in his game. He owned the largest general store in Willowbrook, and while his shelves were always stocked with goods, his heart seemed devoid of compassion. One chilly autumn morning, a traveler arrived in the village. Her name was Elena. She was a seamstress by trade, with little more than a bundle of fabric and a needle to her name. She carried an air of mystery, her eyes filled with stories untold. Elena went door to door, offering to mend clothes in exchange for a meal or a warm place to sleep. When she reached Victor's store, she asked for a small favor. "Sir," she said softly, "I've walked a long way and have nothing to eat. Could you spare a loaf of bread? I will repay you as soon as I can." Victor scoffed, crossing his arms. "This is a business, not a charity. If you have no money, you'll get nothing from me." Elena's face fell, but she thanked him nonetheless and turned away. She spent the night under an old oak tree, shivering as the cold seeped through her thin shawl. The villagers, moved by her plight, began to help her in small ways. One gave her a blanket, another shared a bowl of soup, and soon, Elena's skill with a needle became the talk of Willowbrook. Her intricate embroidery was unlike anything they had ever seen, and soon, orders for her work poured in. Weeks turned into months, and Elena thrived. She opened a small shop, and her designs caught the attention of a noblewoman passing through the village. Overnight, Elena became a sensation. Her shop expanded, her wealth grew, and with it, her generosity. She never forgot the kindness of the villagers and repaid them tenfold. But Victor's fortunes took a turn. A fire broke out in his store one stormy night, reducing everything to ashes. With no insurance and no savings, for he had always hoarded his wealth, he found himself destitute. Desperate, he went door to door, asking for help. But the villagers, remembering his cold-hearted ways, turned him away. Finally, with nowhere else to go, Victor swallowed his pride and approached Elena. She listened to his plea, her expression unreadable. After a long silence, she said, "Do you remember the day I came to your store, asking for a loaf of bread?" Victor's face turned red. He nodded, unable to meet her gaze. "I remember," she continued. "But I also remember the kindness of this village that helped me when I had nothing. It taught me that compassion is a choice." Elena handed him a bag of coins and said, "Take this. Start over. But this time, choose differently." Victor, humbled and teary-eyed, accepted her help. He rebuilt his life, but now he was a changed man. He became a benefactor to the village, using his wealth to uplift others. And from that day forward, Willowbrook prospered, not because of one person's riches, but because of a community united by kindness. The moral of the story? The seeds you plant today will determine the harvest you reap tomorrow. Choose kindness. It costs nothing, but means everything.